Giants and Jets, of course. This might be the weekend that their seasons go in the right direction to the playoffs, or we have to start looking at the reality that maybe we're not playing postseason football, and you have the return of Deshaun Watson in Houston and Tony Busby, the lawyer representing 20-plus women who claim that they were sexually assaulted on massage tables, is now bringing those women to the game to parade them like zoo animals in front of the public. It's going to be a bleep show. The Nets win last night, 45 from KD. And the New York Knicks back in action tonight against Detroit. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, Ken?
And the Rangers lost to the Devils. Don't want to leave that out.
But by the way, the play of the night last night at Madison Square Garden was not made on the ice. The play of the night last night was made behind the Ranger bench as a puck ricocheted off a player's stick and was going into the crowd.
Right.
And then a friend of mine...
Boomer?
No, Boomer was not at the game. I confirm that.
Why?
A friend of mine reached out his hand and caught the puck one-handed.
One-handed puck catch?
With no bobble at all.
Wow.
And then gave the puck to a teenage boy. That man is in the Little League Hall of Fame, mind you.
Todd Frazier.
Good guess, by the way. Not
you.
Todd Frazier.
Thank you.
That man single-handedly caught a puck with one hand.
Dude, that is not easy.
Right. Reached out the bear paw, caught the puck, showed it to his wife as a conquering hero would, and then gifted that puck to a random 15-year-old boy
hold on,
sitting in his section.
Before we get to who the person is.
Yes.
Why did he feel the need to give it to a teenager?
Well, because the teenager's father said it's my son's birthday. He'd love that puck.
Was it the kid's birthday?
There's some dispute. There is some dispute whether or not it was.
We've talked about this with foul balls. A puck catch is even more special than a foul ball.
Yeah, because it's a harder catch, right?
I believe in giving it to kids. I have given foul balls to kids. But a 15 or a 16-year-old?
Bordering on unacceptable? Is that what we're saying?
Towards no, that's my puck. Sorry.
So, in any event, my guy makes the one-handed catch. The puck doesn't wobble at all. He shows his wife, caveman,
Yeah.
And then he gives the puck to allegedly a boy celebrating his birthday. And who was that Little League Hall of Famer? None other than the fantastically gifted athlete known to all of you as Governor Chris Christie.
Chris Christie did
How
that?
about that?
Dude,
that?
Does he have video of it?
No, I've been trying to get video of it. I've checked the entire game thing, and I cannot find it on the game on YouTube.
Right.
So I reached out to the Garden, and I'm waiting to hear back from the Garden.
Oh, my
I got to
God.
see the catch.
Dude, if that's
Yeah.
on video, that's at least 9 points to his campaign if he runs for president.
Well, listen, he's not decided if he's running it or not, but if you put out that video.
That is 9 points. Easy.
I agree.
Can your guy or gal catch a puck with one hand? Our guy can.
Biden can't. That'd be great. So Chris Christie's at the game last night, minding his own business. I talked to him earlier today about it, and it was funny. He goes, the puck ricocheted off a stick.
Yeah.
He goes, and it's this weird thing where as the puck's coming towards you, everything slows down. And I figured there's a chance, not guaranteed, there's a chance that puck might make it over the plexiglass. And if it does, it's coming right at me. Thwack.
Dude,
put up the hand, made the grab.
So I think you're.
How about that?
I think you're a really good athlete. I'm going to compliment you.
There you go.
But I don't think you're capable of a play like that.
There's a chance I wouldn't have seen the puck.
Like if there's,
I'd be eating.
Do we have a puck here? Because if I threw a puck at your head,
it's a tough catch.
You're not making the catch.
Well, not
with
just
one
that.
hand.
If you threw the puck from here to here, I make the catch.
Well, no, not from here to
here. If
here.
you're on the ice and the puck, however fast that puck's going,
long range puck throwing.
There's a chance how to make that catch.
Like catching a baseball with one hand. Okay, maybe like we've done
better
it before.
Than 50-50 shot.
But a flying puck.
Flying puck, Evan. A flying puck. And I called him up and I go, did you catch a puck last night?
What'd he say?
And he goes, how did you know? And I'm like, I have eyes and ears everywhere. But look, when you're Chris Christie, or for that matter, you said Boomer, to a lesser extent, me, you, whomever, if you're at Madison Square Garden and you catch a puck, people are going to know you caught
So there
the puck.
has to be people who were in that building last night who witnessed this firsthand, right?
Of course, because they tweeted me today.
A lot of people
Yeah.
are just like 1 or 2.
Like 3 or 4.
Okay. I
So not a significant amount.
It was a full house at the Garden. There were a
Yeah.
lot of Devil fans there.
Devils won the game 5-3.
They did. I assume that the governor, you said, was sitting behind one of the goals?
He sits behind like the Rangers bench last night.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive, man. Good for him.
I was so happy. I was like, I felt like I caught the puck, to be
Yes.
honest.
Oh, I've been supplied a puck that I can throw at you now. Great.
Can I just see the puck first?
Well, it's in a case, so I got to take it out of its case.
May I say,
Yeah.
is it regulation? Yes, it is the official puck, an official game puck of the New York Rangers.
All right, flip it back to me. Flip it to me.
So
softly. I
softly.
make no claims I can catch any. Okay.
All right, so now how do you want to throw it at me?
I'm going to throw it at you pretty
and
hard.
he was sitting.
You're gonna sit.
Hold on. Throw it at me hard.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it at you hard.
No, you're not going to throw it at me hard.
Did the puck come at the governor hard or not?
Kind of in my direction.
Okay.
Not like right at my head.
Well-
because I may not make the catch.
Well, that's the point, dude.
Now, Governor Christie is usually an aisle sitter.
Okay.
I don't know if he's on the right side or the left side. For the sake of this demonstration, I'm going to be on the right side of the aisle, so I make the catch right-handed.
Now, the thing that's going to happen to reenact that you don't know it's coming is I'm not going to say 1, 2, 3.
Oh, we're not.
It's just going to
Hold
happen.
on, but he knew the puck was coming.
What?
He saw the puck
Oh,
coming.
you're going to see the puck coming. I'm just not going to warn you that it's coming.
Okay.
And at any moment, the puck's going to come, and what you've got to do is you got to catch it with one hand.
All right, so but don't throw it over there.
No, I'm going to throw it at you. I mean, because the puck
All
came
right,
out.
so
right?
hold on, time out.
Yeah.
My left hand is inside my sweatshirt.
Yes.
So I'm not going to use my left hand.
No, that's great.
So I just want to set that up.
Yes.
I'm going to drop
Now,
it.
I'm faking throws right
Yeah,
now because I don't
that's
want
not
him
cool
to
of you to
know
do
when
that.
it's coming. Well, you can't know when it's
Yeah,
coming.
that's not cool of you to do that.
You cannot know when it's coming. It just has to randomly happen.
Oh, don't do that.
And
You
then when it
snapped it like
randomly
that.
happens, it happens. Oh, he did it!
That's what I'm talking about.
He did it! No warning, and he caught it. Snow coned it. Good for you, man.
Wow, thank God I caught that. And
I'm
by
impressed.
the way, that was an accidental catch. I will take full ownership.
What do you mean it was an accidental catch?
That puck hit me in the perfect spot.
That's called accuracy
That
right there.
puck hit me perfectly.
And I didn't do it too hard. It was like a
No,
nice,
it was okay. It was okay.
average speed.
It was okay. Anyway, so the Rangers lose last night, but Chris Christie caught a puck, and I kind of felt like I caught the puck because he's my guy.
By the way, speaking of celebrities, Jerry Seinfeld went to another Nets game. I noticed him again
So he
last
might
night.
now be officially be a Nets fan.
I think he was. Now, think about the game he goes to, a Monday
Now-
night against the Magic.
the last game he went to was like the big Kyrie's anti-Semite game,
Yeah,
right?
against Chicago, yeah.
Right.
It was
this
the
one
last,
is just a random game.
It was the last game Kyrie played, I think, or one of the last games he played. It may have been the last before his suspension, but he was in Brooklyn last night as the Nets needed every bit of 45 from Kevin Durant to beat the Magic.
Yeah, well, listen, you got the 45, and that's that. I love the one play that dude Harris was guarding him.
Gary Harris.
And to his credit, he's in Durant's face.
Yep.
A little aggressive.
Yep.
And Durant just smiled. And then he took him glass, not the greatest shot, but hit a bank shot, and he was just money last
Combination of two things. The Nets are never going to win anything, and B, it's the Nets. But Kevin Durant, watching him on a nightly basis, it's
Best
like
player you ever saw.
Oh, my God. It's
I don't think it's
unbelievable.
close, right?
Now, it's not going to end in glory. It's not going to end with anything amazing, and he'll be traded at some point, whether this year or next year. But watching him on a nightly basis, man, oh, man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. All right, so let's get into some football, okay? Because, we probably overdo this or overstate this, but the crossroads teams are at, right? Mm-hmm. And I think when we take stock of the fact that we've already had, it's funny, we've already had this year that kind of none of us were expecting, whether you're a Giant fan who they're 7-4 or you're a Jet fan, they're 7-4. Both teams have given us almost 3 months now of not just competitive football, but winning football, which is why both teams are still very much alive, for a wild card spot. And obviously, if the Jets win out, the Jets actually win the division. Eagles, the Giants can't say the same thing because of where the Eagles are at, but obviously they both control their own destiny. And I'm starting to get the sense, not knowing, of course, how Mike White's going to play. How could we possibly predict that other than what we saw in game one? I think if he plays well against Minnesota, we can start maybe making some more informed predictions on where the Jets are going to be. But right now, today, if I wanted to take the temperature of both fan bases, and I told you only one of the two teams is going to make it into the postseason, which would you pick?
I would pick. it's a complicated question.
Because the schedules aren't great, especially for the Giants.
But I think the amount of wins the Giants need to make the playoffs is a little bit different.
You think it's 10?
Yeah. Well, no, I think that 10 doesn't guarantee the Jets a playoff spot, while I think 10 with the Giants would.
Okay.
I think if the Giants found a way to split these remaining 6 games,
then they're in.
They're a playoff team.
I'm with you on that, by the way.
I think the Jets splitting, it likely makes them a playoff team, but it's not a guarantee. So obviously the state of the Giants right now is not a positive state, considering all the injuries they've had, considering the struggles Daniel had on Thanksgiving, the fact that Saquon Barkley's had a heavy, heavy workload, and he's looked more human. But I still, and this is what kind of bothers me about the whole Giant thing, because they've been under the radar the last few days because of the Mike White stuff,
Sure.
the Jet stuff. There seems to be a lot of burying of the New York Giants. I heard it this morning with our friends in the morning. I think Boomer or Gio, one of them said, they may not win another game.
Oh, come on.
They may not win another game. We're really doing this after 2 straight losses to the Lions and the Cowboys, which is burying them. They can't win another game.
And all they've done is disprove these crazy predictions.
All season long.
Like, no one's saying the Giants are winning a Super Bowl, but haven't they at least earned some level of goodwill?
Can I ask you
that
this?
they're going to win a couple more games?
Can the New York Giants, and this is the bare minimum, in the next 3 weeks, they're going to play Washington twice.
Right.
All right? We'll see if Chase Young comes back this week. We'll see. We'll find out. Can the Giants win one of those 2 games?
100%.
If they win one of those 2 games,
Yeah.
I have confidence that they can make the postseason at 9-8. I think that's on the table.
By the way, and they do have Indianapolis on New Year's Day. And while you don't get too far ahead of yourselves, there's the second one you're looking for. Right?
Yes.
You don't have to beat the Eagles. You don't have to beat Minnesota. You got to beat Washington once and the Indianapolis Colts, who are clearly not very well coached.
Absolutely.
After watching what happened last night with Jeff Saturday, and I don't want to get into it in depth too much, not calling a timeout with the game just tick-tock, tick-tock,
it was
tick-tocking
bad.
away.
It was
stupid.
bad. It was bad.
Absolutely asinine.
But I think if the Giants get to 9, they have a shot to get in.
Okay.
I think if they get to 10, they're definitely in.
I didn't hear what they said in the morning today, obviously,
But it's not
it's
just-
ridiculous.
but
They're
it's-
7-4.
But Craig, it's not just them. It's this vibe that the Giants are about to collapse. And look at the last 2 weeks. Yeah, they lost to a better team than we realize in Detroit. The Cowboys were immensely more talented going into that game. They're a more talented team in general, and then B, the injuries the Giants faced. And yet the Giants were in position to win that game.
Yep.
They were in position, if they make a few plays, specifically the 4th down play, where somehow they got 10 guys on the field, Daniel doesn't make the right throw, Saquon can't catch it. They were a play away from that game looking entirely different.
I agree.
They can beat the Washington football team.
By the way, I think they're going to. I can't say they're going to win both games because give Washington credit. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. And Taylor Heineke's playing his ass off right now. And they've established a run game with, what's his name, Robinson.
Ryan Robinson, yeah.
The kid who got shot before the season started, who's playing his ass off for them. So if you told me that they split, why can't the New York Giants take one game?
At minimum, they have to split.
Yeah, and by the way, if you told me the Giants won both games, I wouldn't be surprised
They win
by
both
that.
games, they make the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, that
But
period
it's weird.
stop.
It's like we live in this world now. And again, I didn't hear it, so I'm not taking a shot. I don't know who said it or exactly what they said. We live in this crazy world where the only way for me to get attention is to say something outlandish. How can you predict that a 7-4 football team is now going to run the table with losses? It'd be as silly as if I came out and said they're going to win every single game.
Right.
They're just not realistic.
And look, they don't have to win every single game. I think 9 wins gives you a decent shot. 10 wins definitely gets you in.
Yeah.
Now, it's not an easy schedule. You still have to play Philadelphia twice. You still have to go to Minnesota. Obviously, the 2 games against Washington. And you mentioned the game against Indy. But what has been the DNA of the Giants all season long, really outside of the Lion game?
Every single game they play is close.
Yes.
They're very well coached.
Yes.
And they win close games. And I think we can agree.
Yes.
The Lions game was their worst game of the year. Every team has a game like that. Throw it out because to me, the Lions game says nothing about what this Giants team is this year.
Here's the real question. We have seen 2 games from Saquon Barkley in which he's not the same guy. Okay?
Yes, he had 25 yards
And
against
that-
the Lions.
no
It
doubt.
wasn't much better against Dallas.
And no doubt that has led directly to their failures on offense. We've said this all year. Their offense goes with Saquon Barkley. Do we believe that this is just two random games, don't worry about it? Or do we believe that the toll of carries and touches, remember he had 35 carries against the Texans prior to this quote-unquote slump, are we concerned that this is the real Saquon? Because look, if this is the real Saquon, they're in a hell of a lot of trouble. We all know that.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced that 2 weeks against the Lions and Cowboys, that's who Saquon's going to be over the final 6 weeks of the year.
Are the Giants a 7-2 team talent-wise? No. So they got a couple of house money wins in there. You have to give them credit for, right? Mm-hmm. But because they lose back-to-back games, one of them, obviously, as the Cowboys did, on short rest in Dallas against a team that is just fundamentally better than you at virtually every single position on the field. If you lose that game, that's going to be the calling card for never winning another game? That seems a little crazy to me. Because here's what I do know about the New York Giants. The New York Giants are going to come into this game against Washington really well prepared.
Yes.
They're going to be really well coached on the sideline. And as much as I give Taylor Heineke and Washington a lot of credit for their resurgence and getting back in the mix, because they deserve that credit.
No doubt.
And they are well coached as well with Ron Rivera, still Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke's not beating you, throwing the ball 40 times. And their run game, while good, is stoppable. And it's not as if Washington, should they have beaten Minnesota? Maybe. Okay, you can make the argument. Are they competitive? Yeah. This is going to be a one-score game.
Yeah.
That's going to come down to the fourth quarter, and one team's going to make a play.
It's the opposite.
So why can't it be the Giants?
It's the opposite of the way I think we felt going into the Dallas game, which is, hey, to beat the Cowboys, they're going to have to score 30. I think we even said that about the Lions. To beat the Lions, they're going to have to score 30. They obviously didn't, and they lost. And they needed to score 30 to win either game. This is a low-scoring game. This is a 17-13 kind of game, and that's the kind of game the Giants have won this year. That's the kind of game they've executed down the stretch. The real key to all of this, and I have more confidence than not, is which Saquon Barkley are we going to see on Sunday? The guy who's in a slump over the last 2 weeks? The guy who hasn't been the difference maker? Or the guy who was making a strong case through 10 weeks he was the MVP of the league? Obviously, considering the state of wide receivers that they have. Great, Daniel Bellinger may come back. That's fantastic. Considering the state of receivers and tight ends that they have, they need Saquon Barkley to be the guy he was over the first 10 weeks of the year, and I'm not ready to give up on him because of 2 bad weeks.
Listen, I got a lot of faith in Brian Daboll. I got a lot of faith in the New York Giants. I think it's silly to count them out right now. I think that's it's stupid, actually, to say the New York Giants at 7-4 with 6 games to go are going to wind up going 7-10 this year. Just sounds crazy to me. Now, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but I think there's a better chance they win out than lose out, and I don't think they're going to win out.
They really, realistically, because 9 wins is kind of a coin toss. If they go 3-3 in their final 6 games, I am confident they are a postseason team.
I agree 100%. 10-7 will get them in.
And 3. So it's simple. You beat the Colts at home. You beat one of the games against Washington. And then you got to find a win somewhere else.
Right.
Whether it's against Philly, whether it's against Minnesota. Maybe it's the other Washington game.
By the way,
you win the other Washington game, it's over.
It's a lock. But don't forget that January 8th game, there's a good chance, not great, because Minnesota and Philly kind of jockeying still a game apart. There is a decent chance that Philly's got nothing to play for.
You're spot on about that.
I don't know what Nick Sirianni's going to do in that spot. They're not playing for an undefeated season. There's a good chance they're locked into a spot, first seed or second seed. Are they going to risk Jalen Hurts getting hurt just so they can end the Giants season?
No, you're 100% right.
I say probably not.
And look, the Jets can help you with that because Minnesota losing, who right now is one of the bigger threats for the number 1 seed. Obviously, Dallas, too. They're only 2 games behind. They're going to play head-to-head in a few weeks. But if Philadelphia gets to Week 18 with everything done, and I think it's more likely than not that it is.
Yeah.
You're right. All of a sudden, that game is a very different looking game.
So don't think that the Giants can't beat Philly because they may be set up for them to beat Philly. That being said, I am not counting the New York Giants out, and I don't think anybody else should either.
Well, and also the other 2 teams you're competing with for a playoff spot are Washington and Seattle. How did the Seahawks look recently?
Not great. Dropped out of first place. San Francisco now owns that division.
They just gave up a 40-burger to Vegas.
To be fair, their offense is still clicking.
Sure.
And Geno Smith and Kenny Walker have done a great job. But defensively, they've become a sieve.
Well, and that's a big part of that question you asked me. Hey, who has a better chance to make the playoffs? Well, you got to look at the competition.
Yeah.
The New York Jets right now are competing for a playoff spot with either Baltimore, Cincinnati, a New England team who has the tiebreaker over you, and the L.A. Chargers featuring a young franchise quarterback in Justin Herbert. forward. The Giants are competing for a playoff spot with Washington and Seattle.
Right now,
Two
Seattle's got the
teams.
tiebreaker.
Look, they do. And
Right.
that's a big thing. You got to finish with a better record than them, but you are a game ahead of them right now.
Yes.
So I feel better about the Giants, I guess, the state of where they are and the teams they're competing with more so than the Jets. Are the Jets the better team? Yes.
But it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
Nope, it never does. I will get all your calls on 877-337-6666. Obviously, we're going to keep an eye on USA Iran. If we win, we advance, and everybody can pretend to be a big soccer fan. If we lose, we'll pretend like the World Cup never even happened, right? I mean, that's the way it goes.
Yes.
And no shock here, scoreless. 23 minutes in to the first half.
And what was my prediction?
Evan said it'd be a scoreless tie, but I've been watching the game while you've been blabbering on.
Yeah.
And we are being very aggressive offensively. We are going to score a goal.
Well, we have to be aggressive because
Yeah.
from what my understanding, Iran gets a tie, they're likely to advance. Likely. Very likely to advance, assuming the British take care of business, right?
Against Wales.
So the U.S.
Correct.
needs to be aggressive because
Yeah.
they can't rest on a tie. They need to win. But I'm afraid I got some bad news. This game will finish in a 0-0
No, there's no
tie.
shot this game ends 0-0.
Okay,
We're being
you'll see.
too aggressive.
You'll
And then
see.
Iran's going to have a lot of shorthanded chances going the other way.
That's hockey.
Or 2-on-1 chances, whatever you guys call it. Power play chances.
Will there be a fast break in this game?
By the way, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be multiple goals scored in this game.
No, there won't.
And I'm giving you the first 23 minutes without a goal.
Okay, 0-0.
All right, so no, I'm giving it to you.
I appreciate that.
So in a 90-minute game, I've already conceded 25 minutes is scoreless. So I'm limiting the amount of time I can score goals.
Yeah, I get it.
Right?
0-0.
Multiple goals scored in this game.
Not one.
Okay. Well, we're going to see how it plays
You'll
out.
see.
All right, you'll see. You'll see. You'll see. By the way, those of you that actually wagered on this game, this is why I talk about responsible gambling. You got to be half an idiot to have wagered on this game. And I saw Darren Ravel's tweet only because you don't watch soccer. You know nothing about soccer. You can't name a single Iranian. You don't know anyone other than Pulisic because he's the only guy we promote, right? Claudia Reyna's kid ain't playing. Giovanni Reyna. Maybe you heard that name, but that's about it. And I saw Darren Ravel's tweet. And 93% or 98% of all the wagers are on America to win, and there's thousands of wagers.
Yeah, I bet on the game, though. I bet on a tie. I did.
2% of the people
Plus
bet on a
210,
tie.
I bet on a tie. And I've heard of one other guy, and the only reason I've heard of him is because he gave that brilliant answer to the Iranian press, Tyler Adams.
Yeah.
Who I know nothing about
Yeah.
other than him answering questions at a press conference where he was reprimanded for mispronouncing Iran and then was asked
Well,
basically.
what did he call it? Iran?
Iran and Iran. And the reporter said, very mad.
Pissy.
Yeah, wow, pronounce it right. And Adam said, I apologize.
Okay.
And then said, are you embarrassed to represent America? America's such a bad country, your thoughts? And Adams gave a very thoughtful, great response. Other than that, Craig, I have no idea who he is.
Is he American even?
Yeah, he's the captain.
Yeah, but we got some dudes who aren't even really American on the American team.
What does that
We got
mean?
one guy who I guess was born here.
Yeah.
And then they shipped him out to London. And he grew up in England.
You're an American.
You know.
Can you run for president? Yes.
Little fugazi. little fugazi on that. All right, let's see. We'll get all your calls. 877-337-6666. It's Carton and Roberts on the Fan, live from the Town Fair Tire Studios, powered by Town Fair Tire. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Big Mac is out today, and you can't make this up. If you're going to come up with a health issue that Big Mac might be suffering from, could you have picked a more cliche one than food poisoning?
Did you ever hear from Big Mac? 'Cause I never heard from him.
No, you think he would have reached out to me.
Yeah, I never heard
and
from
you.
him.
We're only host the show.
I know. I found out from Lukey. I went to go see him today, and Lukey's like, oh, yeah, he's not here, food poisoning.
Yeah, he texted me early this morning about it.
He
But
didn't
not,
text me.
not me or Craig.
I assumed he texted you guys in another separate
no
text.
text from me.
I even wrote him a feel better once you gave me the info. Haven't heard from him.
Yeah, but that's passive aggressive to feel better.
No, it's not.
Yes,
it's
it
feel
is.
better.
Almost like,
That's-
why didn't you reach out and tell me that you were sick?
Well, I'm a
Bingo.
little agitated
better.
about that.
Yeah, it's passive
You
aggressive.
should be agitated about your boss.
Yeah. Like nothing.
Yeah.
He tells Lukey.
Well, that's his, and Luke will throw him under the bus in a minute, too.
Work wife. Oh, big time.
Yeah, Luke will be like, hey, I'm at work today.
If the walls could talk.
I didn't suffer from food poisoning.
Now, here's the real question. Is today a bridge show day for Big Mac?
No, I'm
Stunning.
I'm doing the bridge show. I was always doing it though. So
Got it. Well, maybe you should get a couple bonus ones. ones now.
You never know.
You should, since he's sick.
Who's
you should do the Brit Show
who's
for the next
filling
week.
in for Big Mac today?
No, so Keith is out. So Doug Williams is doing the nighttime shift, and I'm doing the Brit
No,
Show.
who's filling in here?
Oh,
Who's,
here?
pushing the buttons?
I don't know. Cast of thousands.
All right.
Right now we have the Pete Hoffman.
I don't know who he is.
Dove will jump in a
Is he
few.
new?
I'm the guy that stole your Twitter account.
You stole my. Oh, yeah. The guy who pretended to be me to say good things about himself.
Yes.
I know who
That's
you
me.
are.
Producer of Tiki and
yeah.
Tierney.
Okay, nice haircut.
Vincent Von Vincent will be in later.
Well, let's just keep one guy here,
Okay,
right? I don't
well-
need 5 different guys pushing 2 buttons.
we have a cast of thousands.
All right, fair enough. All right, 1800 tequila. Tell the new guy, if he does a good job pushing buttons, I'll give him a bottle of tequila today. All right? On my word, I'll give you a bottle of 1800 if you do a good job today. Let's just see if you did a good job. Ready? Hold on.
La 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 la, get up.
Ah, the machine is on. I like
You
it.
know what's more impressive than once?
Then
twice.
once-
I threw a puck at him.
You know, so I ducked it. I ducked that puck.
I wanted to see if you had the
Yeah.
reflexes to catch it a
Yeah,
second
you
time.
saw how I ducked it, though.
He ducked it.
Now, the girl behind me just got hit right in the nose. Yeah, why would you do that?
Because I wanted to see, without any notice, if
Right.
he could catch a puck.
But
The governor
Chris-
had no idea the puck was coming.
Of course he did. He was watching the game.
He wasn't watching
He
the
saw
game.
the puck come flying at him. Yeah, what happened? What's up?
I'm different.
Yeah.
I never claimed I was going to catch
And the camera guy wasn't there to catch you falling out of your chair as I threw a puck at Evan.
Yeah, I flipped.
Can we have a truce?
Yeah, we're at peace.
Because I know exactly how this is going to go.
No, we're at peace.
I'm going to get hit in the schnoz with the puck, and I'm not going to be happy about it.